pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
Ben Hub.
Yeah.
Jeff Corpenny.
Yeah, just get the link.
Correspondence. You got any correspondence, Jeff?
Yeah, we'll get here on what Jenny's got. I don't want to duplicate stuff. Do you have the resolution from Amy?
Yes.
I didn't print it out, so it's good. Everybody had it. Licking County Planning Commission, they had their meeting yesterday. There wasn't anything on the agenda directly related to the Bowling Green. On June 4th, I did attend the Ohio Farm Bureau Policy Development meeting, which Jenny told us about the last meeting. I have record requests here. There's 3 different ones here for Jenny. Mr. Steffi said he couldn't do the meeting night. He wanted me to bring these. This one has 7 pieces of information he wants. This one has 3, and this one has another 3. If possible, I'd like copies of this and also the whatever records that you provided. I think that's it. I put the following correspondence.
I received a signed copy of the trash contract, which we can just talk about that under unfinished business. Other resolution from Amy about the hall rental.
Sorry, excuse me, when you say signed, you mean by the hauler?
It was signed by Big O. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I have the hall rental resolution. Really, that's about it. I did receive $50 check from AEP for the refrigerator. That's it.
There's one thing here for the National Trail Fire Department. I'll just read it real quick, and I have a couple copies. There's only a couple, so help people want to take them, fine, if not, whatever. The National Trail Fire Department, through improvements of equipment, training, and the county water system installation, insurance ratings have been reduced from a 910 to a 6/6X for their coverage area. Check with your insurance agent to see if this change applies to your insurance. If you live within 5 miles of the fire department in Gray Shot, there's a chance that your homeowner insurance could go down. I'll say it will, but it could. So if you live within 5 miles, definitely contact them. Give them the information that I just stated on there. And I'm sure they will assist you. So there'll be a couple copies out here. I have 3, so if people want to take them. Two things tonight. It says one was, they're both emails. One was from a Susan Smith on Mount Hope Road. It says, we would like to know when weeds along the road are going to be cut. Laurel Hill weeds have been cut for quite some time now, and the holes in the road are, the holes in the road are going to be filled. To answer that, we're actively mowing right now. We've called about cold mix several times. I know I called today, but last time I called, they don't have any right now, smalls anyways. And they said that if they could get enough people that are interested, they would make it fast. So she took my name from them.
Call them Skinner today, and they got all the way home.
They do have some. Okay. So we can look into that about those potholes. There are some out there that need. Another one's from Misty Baird. It reads, I contacted Dan on May 28th about zoning. There was no contact made by Ben Hub to contact Jeff via phone, email, phone to Jeff concerning zoning. I asked for proof of that information. Dan replied, Ben said he tried to contact his numbers on zoning. And I'm sending you a record request for the evidence of contact concerning zoning. Misty and Jeff Baird. There was a phone call that was, I placed to Jeff, there was no answer, so we moved on with the situation, so.
What is the zoning they want?
Sending the record
Zoning
to us,
commission. Zoning commission,
Oh,
that his term had expired, we filled it. That's all I have in correspondence.
Big safety, everything's all up on safety. You know, everything's started over to the red truck. Should be on it tomorrow. Zoning,
zoning. I gave you all letters, copies. To add to that letter, permit 10514 was done 6/11/14. Blank Gray Craft 15765 Main Street, Brownsville. He did an add-on. We have 3 potential builds coming. One is going to have a variance. So we're working on going towards the Board of Appeals. We've already met with the planning to set it up and on what we need to bring to the appeals board, and that would be the swords. Bethany Woodruff is a sword, and Mr. Sorg owns the property. Also, I'll be doing junk cars, either the second week of July or August, probably August, that second Tuesday in August. It's second Tuesday, right? Yeah, second Tuesday in August. That way I have everything totally finished. Which would be the 12th.
zoning board, unfinished business.
Trash, a couple things I think we got contact with.
I know there was a question on the contract from before. I asked Amy and John at the same time. John's response was, I remember a vague, the question about the commingle bin, the recycle bin. John's response was, I remember a vague discussion about it, what are they looking for? Is there any concern residents will throw trash in it? We are offering a curbside pickup, let me know, and we can work something out, I am sure. He sent me the signed contract. He signed two copies of the contract. He sent me that before I asked the question about the bin. And I was thinking if he's offering curbside recycling for everybody in the township, will they use the bin?
So, people have the option to haul their own trash or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it, whatever.
But Amy's response to my question was, since the recycling site is separate from the single trash hauler contract, I don't think it should be included in the contract extension. However, I think the recycle site should be in a standalone agreement between Big O and the township. Does Big O have a standard agreement that they use for their recycle sites, or do I need to prepare one? If the recycle site is not included in the contract extension, the board should be able to approve the contract extension that I prepared last month. So she's basically saying the contract extension is okay to sign as is, because the recycle bin should be separate.
Now, when do they need that contract back?
I
Is it all
believe
until
it's-
August, is it?
It's before,
Part of
the contract starts August 1st.
He said it would be an extra charge.
what's that?
He he said there would be no extra charge to put a band in. Because the
Right.
gentleman right here said he would do it with no extra charge, and he stood right over there and said he would do it for no extra charge too.
Yeah, and that's
So
what I,
that is bullshit about charging extra.
he didn't say anything about charging extra. He just said he remembers something vague about it. He didn't
It
say.
wasn't vague, he said it.
That was
Yeah.
the same one that was here.
Yes.
They offer free curbside pickup.
Yeah.
That was one thing, and then also bulk bid for the village.
Right.
Buzz asked about too, and he said about the bin.
Yeah.
He would set up a bin here. And you said he was gonna put it over there, not over by the trash.
Do we have another month so you can get that cleared up? Or is there?
We do, but Amy says the extension can be signed as is, and we have to do a separate thing with Big O for the recycling.
I'd rather see it in the contract because it was pretty clear, I
It's up
thought.
to you
that
guys, I'm
they
just
were gonna
reporting
have-
back what Amy said.
She had stated that,
He said it.
that we didn't need, it didn't need to be in the contract, right?
That's what she said. I can reread it if you like. Since the recycle site is separate from the single trash hauler contract, I don't think it should be included in the contract extension. However, I think the recycle site should be in a standalone agreement between Big O and the township. Does Big O have a standard agreement that they use for their recycle sites, or do I need to prepare one? This was sent to you.
She would need to prepare one
Right, you know,
because apparently they didn't supply you with one. It was just
No.
verbal when you came in here.
sure. You know, as far as like a recycle site, I don't know, are they gonna pick it up once a week, once every other week, once a month? You know, I don't see them picking it up once a week. They might, I don't know. But that's probably what would need to be in the contract, how it's gonna be picked up. Where we're gonna put it, things like that, and I would be fine doing a separate contract with that. I'll make a motion to go ahead and sign the original fast contract.
Yeah, the discussion to start off with.
It's in there.
Would be fine if we did this in the next meeting?
Yes, but it wouldn't matter. Amy says the recycle bin needs to be a separate standalone contract with Big O.
I feel it should be in the contract.
Can I ask a question about the recycle? This is like that three-tier recycle thing,
It's a co-mingled,
Yeah, that was never.
everything thrown together.
and it won't be on everybody's lot, it'll be on township property.
Yes.
Then that contract should not be for the people, it should be for the township owner, because it's on township property.
They're offered recycling for residents. You know,
Right.
recycling
And
bins.
That was in our
that part
contract.
is in the contract.
That was in our contract when we first got it.
But there was a charge for it the first time.
Right.
Now they're offering free recycling.
Okay.
So
Point of
that-
order, Dan, did you want to open this up to the public, because some of them are commenting?
It's a question regarding the topic you were on. It's not a public comment. Thank you, Mr.
I'm
Corpenny.
addressing you, Mr. President. Do you want to, at this time, do you want to allow public comments, and hear comments about it?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You recognize public comment, correct? I agree with Jeff that at least what I see is that this contract is sort of a leverage to get the free stuff. I mean, that's to put it very mildly. What is to say that he reneges on the recycling? I don't think he will, that's not what I'm saying. But if we turn around and give him the bulk of that, then what's to say he's gonna follow through? I don't know.
Now, the free residential recycling pickup at the driveway is in the contract.
Oh, okay.
That's already in our contract.
Oh, okay, I
So, I
misunderstood.
mean, does our deal really hinge on the commingled
But not the
recycling?
bulk bin.
Oh, I
That's what the question is, the bulk recycling bin centrally located for,
misunderstood that, but again, I still think it's part of the deal that you've made with him. I don't know why it
It's
wasn't
separate.
written in there.
Well, because what I'm hearing is the
It's a-
bulk is a township thing, the other is a residential.
It sounded like it was all free anyway, so.
Right.
So it's not, anyway, I misunderstood the original question, but I think it,
He did say it
you
free.
guys need a motion to sign it, or if you want to rescind it, it's up to
I'm
you.
gonna go with her opinion, you know, she advised that we could go ahead and sign it, so let's go ahead and sign it.
Okay, let's do roll call.
Wait a minute, under conversation, all that aside, I definitely feel like it should be in the contract. The original contract had issues in it, and I brought those forward, and never addressed over the years. At this point, no matter what you're passing tonight, it's ex post facto, it's after the fact. So I will be voting no, and that's all the discussion that I have on the matter.
Okay, roll call vote, Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yes.
Jeff,
No. Now, before you move on, because of the way you did that, how are you gonna follow up with this unfinished portion of it with the promised recycling dumpster?
I will follow up with John and say that we would like a Coneywell bin, and then I will follow up with Amy and have her write up a contract.
I would be a little stronger than that. I would suggest instead of we like, he stated we would have.
I'll take care of it.
Dan, if you don't mind, those went through pretty quick. I just had a quick thing on zoning. I was looking over your updated list, Jenny, and I think you've got some errors here. Under zoning commission, it's not possible for somebody to be on the board and alternate at the same time. I think you've got an error there. You have P.T. Crier expiring 2/28/16, and you have there's an alternate expiring 9/28/15. So that needs corrected. Sorry to regress, Dan, but I didn't want to do another one. Thank you. Does that put us on the building reservation sheet? Is that what, or is that the trash? Is that the trash?
Mm-hmm.
This is the trash. Did you want to sign it?
I don't want to sign it, but I would like a copy of it.
You
Is
received
it
a copy
possible?
of it
I want a copy of the
by
signed one.
email.
Can you email final thing? And also the correspondence that you had regarding the dumpster, I'd like to have that forwarded.
That was sent to you.
Your conversation with Don, was that, did you say
John.
John? Was that email?
I guess he didn't respond to everyone.
Well, I think he's forwarded to me as a comment. Thank you. Well, that was just today.
Yes.
We're still in the draft. We're done with that part. One other thing, Heather, not finished, but just kind of trying to deal with the trash contract is, since the last meeting, I've witnessed I've witnessed CMI picking up trash in our township still. It was on Monday, I believe it was, I believe it was the 9th, June 9th, they were picking up. I took some pictures of their time and date stamp. It was on Mount Hope Road. I discussed this with Amy. She said we needed to discuss it at the board meeting to see if we wanted to take any action on it. I myself feel that we do need to take some action on it. They're still violating a court order that they were ordered to stop. So she said if we decide to do that, to go ahead and vote on it, that we want the prosecutor's office to go ahead and take action against contempt of court with them, CMI.
I'll make the motion to take action. Take action.
The prosecutor's office take action. File contempt charges against CMI.
Is there a second to the motion?
Yeah. Thank you for your discussion on everything.
That was to take action to file contempt charges against CMI,
Correct.
and you said you have photographs of this.
That's correct. They were also emailed to you.
Email, what are the pictures like?
The trash truck picking up on Mount Hope Road, the address, the mailbox.
When was this email, was it sent?
It was all sent to Amy. She replied back to me, but also sent everything to you.
The only photographs I saw were First Street and under the trash truck.
No, you're right, I take that back, you're right, no, I do have pictures of the time
And the prosecutor already has those.
No, she wanted us to vote on that, so I
She hasn't seen them either.
I apologize. Actually, it's a,
Is there any more discussion? Ready for the roll call? Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
yep,
Jeff,
No. First Street's not on the agenda. Where does that fall?
new business.
I have one question, kind of off topic, but I want to make sure I ask this. Has anybody seen the children playing, slow children playing signs that we ordered? Jack, did you come across the children playing signs that we ordered?
Are those the ones I questioned when we were paying bills last month?
Yes. I just wanted to verify that nobody,
I don't think
Look like it's through yet.
but you didn't find the children.
Didn't find it.
Okay.
Did you send a check?
I did, but I also emailed him and told him that we haven't received them. And he told me to verify, so I'm double checking
I've never
with everybody.
Is that MMCO?
No,
This is a different company.
MMCO is our advertising,
Oh,
it's
okay.
the advocate,
What's the name of the company?
Econo Signs,
How long ago did you inquire about?
a couple days ago.
Do you know what method they checked it with?
They actually sent me a verification that they were delivered, but it
Yes.
wasn't signed by anybody. I can't remember who the company was. But it wasn't signed by anybody, so there's no real proof. I don't know why anybody takes signs, but maybe they just drop them off. Maybe they don't. But I don't know how else to have it. That's always before.
should follow up though.
Okay, done.
And then building reserve sheet.
Did you print copies out for everybody on the?
I just printed one copy.
I think you only need one resolution, but on the rules themselves.
No, I just printed one. I thought everybody got an email except for Ben or Dan. Did you get an email?
Those are both in the same email. She attached.
Yeah, this is the resolution. And then that's the,
It looks to me like she reformatted the whole thing.
and it's 6 pages long.
Is it, because
Yeah,
the draft I had was front and back?
right. And
Agree.
I honestly think it's way too long for what we're trying to do. I mean, I'm sure it has all the legal stuff it needs to have in it, but
We need that. We need-
it's 6
That's
pages
why I
long.
had to review it. It came back a lot longer than it's been in. Now, I noticed that today I went on your website, Jen, and you must have recently taken the current application off of there. Because there's not one there anymore. It used to be.
I'll have to check. I
So,
didn't make that.
once that is approved, can you get it put out there so people can download it, read it or print it? Does that have a message on it too, Ben, or just the resolution itself?
I didn't type it in. So I just printed it.
Basically, she said we were good to go legally though, tonight's meeting, right, with this resolution.
This is what we give everybody,
Yeah.
the whole thing. Wow.
longer, but I don't know that it really has any more, anything much different. Did you see anything different there? She did mention that it doesn't have a rate on it, but we already have a rate schedule, so that wouldn't really matter. If you are gonna print those, maybe better not to have the actual rate on there, because if it changes, you can still use the forms. That's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
It is, there's one thing it's kind of, I'm not sure about, it says, that the board hereby empowers the township to rent out portion of the town hall complex not used for township business, and empowers any one trustee or the fiscal officer with the authority to enter an agreement on behalf of the township. So that means one of us or Jenny has to, one of us in here has to take reservations, and sign off on that.
She cited an ORC, is it in that or is it in her letter? Is it in the resolution? That's probably why she put that in. Is there, I don't know of any past resolution that was ever done in the child support.
Well, there's one here that says.
Yeah, there it is.
No.
See a number there. What is that reference? Is that what it's about?
It's further down, the board finds that it has the authority to rent out these premises pursuant to a higher contract.
Yeah, that's why she apparently had that.
Since we appoint Don Hawkins to rent it out, I want to make sure that we're allowed to do that.
Does that form have like the old one where the fiscal officer always signed off on it? Does it have a signature? This part I don't remember. Yeah, that's where the blank is for, she was questioning about how much it costs. Same with that.
I think it's just really long.
Significant, okay, applicant, significant, initial done. Applicant. Right there, it says township by, as long as the fiscal officer signs it, I don't think there'd be a problem. Or a trustee can do it. Are you still picking these up once a month, or how do you know that?
Don's been dropped them off.
So it's more often than once a month?
No, it's just once a month.
I move to, is that resolution you read into the record, or? What's the title?
Town hall rental resolution.
I move to adopt the town hall rental resolution prepared by
This is a resolution
the county prosecutor.
It's gonna be this.
allowing the rental of the building, and that's for each person's rent. Is there a second to Jeff's motion? Any more discussion?
That was last done at 2010 was the date at the top. Was that run by legal counsel at that point?
I don't know.
I was on the board at that time.
I don't know. I know we did, I don't think we did a resolution on this.
Yeah, the one part of the record there anyway.
Are we ready to do roll call on the motion? Dan? Ben?
Stay.
Jeff?
Yes.
Yes.
How soon can we get that put on the website? Because there's nothing there now. And Don's phone number's there, I think, so you go. But we do have to address, when you do that, when you put the rate schedule too, because it's not on there. Thanks.
Still need to come on there, the rentals, we need to change anything there. We have to point them to do it.
That's like they're about,
I'd say talk to Amy, get a legal answer. It shows right there, this is for signatures.
Any cost we did it.
I recommend that you want a resolution and ask Amy about that. Well, I'm going to move that we, get legal counsel on, how do you want to word that? Legal counsel regarding who can sign off on the rental application forms.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. It didn't state in there, it stated in there every one of us.
Yeah.
But it didn't state who it was.
Roll call, Dan?
Wait a minute, did you sign on every one of them? You look at it, you sign it.
Sign the resolutions.
The rental agreements?
After, when I'm receiving the money, yes, I
Right.
sign
So
that.
your signature's on every one of those documents? right?
Yes, but it's after somebody's already rented the building. She gets it at the end of the month, for the meeting.
Right.
Somebody to
I
rent.
just wanted to verify that the township official actually was signing the sheet.
I'm not allowed to sign off on it. Has the authority to actually rent the building.
Well, that's what I was saying, I'm not talking about the resolution, I'm talking about the rental agreements each time. At some point, she needs,
But it's all over and done with by the time I sign it, because all I'm doing is signing that I received the money.
well, I think it's a great idea to get clarification on it.
So we're doing roll call, Dan? Ben?
Yep.
Jeff?
Yes. We should, who's gonna contact her? Me do it? You wanna do it?
Go ahead.
Me? Now, well, I guess that one, I didn't come out, we're running dates on that, but I think the resolution needs a date, so I guess it goes back to me.
Yes.
still on to,
Are we on new business?
our new business now.
Oh, just now, okay.
Couple things I had real quick.
Center business on there, is it?
Yeah, one guy I spoke to, I talked to two people about giving us a price. One guy stated that he is gonna move, in the next couple of months, so he kinda, I guess, retracted the option to give us a price on this. He said he wasn't gonna have time, so. And then the other guy called me to set an appointment. I had to set an appointment meeting with him, so I'll keep that on me there. Also, trying to get some prices on it. Along with the cinder bins, I received a call today from the supplement bank, wanted to know when we want to take delivery of our letter supplement. So they probably want to get rid of it. I need to call somebody back and tell them we want to take delivery. We have room in there for a letter. I just don't want to take it until we have to. See if I can set up something like all the time.
Yeah. See when we have to take it off.
Just kind of push it yours.
from that.
I'll call back about that. One thing that, I guess, threw out on the table was that we had an incident, up on First Street, I'm sure everybody here is aware of that.
Amy, I learned about it after Amy sent me a copy and also
Photos,
the
yeah.
sheriff report that you had done and the pictures.
Right. There was an incident where a resident property owner was gonna move out of a house trailer, down First Street South. And, something was wrong with the house trailer and the drug on the road. And kind of told the road, I saw the pictures. I know I went out and looked at it. Dan received a call, he went out and looked at it. Kind of asked what our options were, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. She said we needed to discuss it at the meeting. I taken pictures the night that it happened. I also filed a police report the next morning. So it would be documented that something did happen. State Highway Patrol also came out, they didn't make a report. So I mean, we need to kind of decide if we want to, maybe if we want to go after the property person was in, I guess, in charge of moving the house trailer. If we want them to pay for damages to the road. So we kind of discussed it. I mean, I'm in favor. They tore up the road. I think they should fix it. It's gouged out pretty bad in several places. Some of it has filled back in with gravel and whatnot, but that means it's permeable now. Water and ice and everything else is going to get down in there, so it's just going to get more busted out. Since that, they had moved a modular up in there, and they've done some more damage for the residents. It sent me some pictures via text. That there was more damage done to the road in the right of way where they taken the truck into the ditch, tore the ditch up. Grass on each side of the road, big people's yards, what it is.
You
It's
see
right of
somebody
way.
sending photos of that additional thing?
Yes, after the bridge.
On the south side.
South side. No, I'm sorry, on the north side.
Okay, that's what it's from.
Sorry, on the north side.
Right.
So there was more damage after that. I kind of spoke with a woman, she was kind of just very, I guess, rude with me. Didn't really want to talk about the incident, it was the night that it happened.
Were you there? Did you see it?
I didn't see it happen.
I don't know if it was her that actually physically did this.
Every neighbor that lives on that street was outside, yes.
She driving a truck that did it.
She wasn't, from what I heard, she owned the truck, she wasn't physically driving it, one of her workers helped her with one.
Because the report only had one lady's name on it.
Right.
And you're the only one that had anything there. There was no interview of anyone with you.
The sheriff never came out that night, the staff patrol came out, they didn't make a report. I mean, if anybody drives up 40 here, they can see a gouge from the church to the top of the hill and State Route 40, so.
On Amy's email, she had mentioned about you getting with ODOT, and you've done that.
I did. I was able to contact them on, actually yesterday. I tried Friday, couldn't get on anybody. Talked to him yesterday. The gentleman I spoke to said that he was aware of it, but he needed to follow up with his boss to see if they wanted to take any action. I do my phone number, have somebody contact me. That was yesterday.
You didn't have any time frame how long it might take. That's her advice was to talk
To see if,
to ODOT
Yes.
before you act. My impression was before we took action, find out what ODOT was doing with the department.
I think she kind of recommended to see if it was gonna go to a lawsuit or whatnot, or whatever, or to demand, compensation for it, to do it as a lump sum with the state. I think it's kind of what she was pertaining to. I haven't received a call back. I don't know what their intentions are. I don't know. I can't speak for them, so.
Like you say, you threw me when you were saying
It's
south side, because over the weekend I stopped up there,
Sure.
and with a couple of rains, your pictures show scrapes and stuff, you can't see any of that light scraping at all.
Sure.
You know, and
And like I said, I know some
you
of the
can
guys,
you can definitely see something happen on 40, but up there,
it happened all the way up to where it turns into gravel, grass up there towards the gate.
I saw the pictures, but it looks a little different now.
Oh, it does, and like I said, some of it did fill in gravel.
Somebody physically went and did something.
No, probably from the rain, but it
Because my
is.
impression is just there's a lot of rain that comes off the hill.
Sure.
My impression is the reason pictures were different is probably because of the rain.
The bad thing is now it's permeable. This winter, water's gonna get in it, get down in the road, it's gonna freeze, it's just gonna break up more.
How deep are they?
I didn't physically measure them, I mean, but it was down through the asphalt.
And you could tell the depth in the quarry.
Yeah.
Yes, good asphalt.
I mean, it literally, you know, and it literally took out chunks of blacktop that were, 3-inch pieces.
They could fill that back in, or the rain fill that back in or
Probably,
something.
yeah, some of the berm stuff and washed down in there, so. Amy also asked that I get an estimate of what it would cost to fix it. I'd asked Small Brothers to give us an estimate on doing it. They had,
Did they come out?
the day,
Just look at your pictures.
the day they were here when we opened road bids, we asked them to go up there and look at it. They were here, go up and look at it, so they did.
So they have seen it.
Yes, he emailed me an estimate, which was $4,500 to fix the road from 40 to the top of the hill where it turns to gravel grass.
From 40,
North to the top of the hill. It's
40 to the top of the hill.
just to where it
Not
turns.
the North Street, just up past driveway there.
Before you get to the Hub's place.
Yeah.
Pass it, right past it.
That's past the pine tree.
Yeah.
Once you
It's
hit
in
the
one
pine trees.
picture, it showed the pine trees, it was like some sod and stuff, which wasn't the road.
Right, right. Once you,
You're going all the way up to that.
to resurface, I think the road, yes, that was theirs.
To be honest, out there that day, I heard you seen them straight to 40, not up on First Street. She also mentioned me out too. I seen her, send word to you, she mentioned me, I understand it. But I was interested to hear it, 40.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I think every resident that lives on First Street on that side was pretty upset. Of course, they drive on that road every day. They don't want it anymore. So we're up to
The
it
court
is.
said it was still parked here when the sheriff was here,
Yes.
I believe it was. It was
Yeah,
there
they did
for a
have
couple
it.
days.
on the corner lot there.
My lot.
Has it been removed from the township at this point? Part of the hill?
As far as I know, it's not there. I don't know where she's gonna be able to start that. So, I mean, I'd like to move forward on to the pictures, the estimate, the police report. The first step, Amy had advised, is not to take it to court, is to ask for the damages. Is to ask to have the road.
But she sent additional correspondence, I didn't see that.
It might have been the other call I talked to her, I'd have to look.
I don't have a problem asking that.
That's
There's nothing on that report that, other than what you said.
sure.
So like, is that even the proper person that should be addressed? She's the owner, it's the person's name on there, someone that owns the trailer.
She was the property of the yes. She was there when the incident happened. Yes.
So what motion do you have to do here?
And I'd like to make a motion that we turn it over to Amy and let her, handle trying to, I guess, compensate the township for damages done to the road.
I guess I only part of the information. She spoke with the applicant, she reviewed it. Because I had the impression that she felt ODOT's stance on it was pretty important part of it. But
Sure.
she could still bring that in, share that information.
Is there a second to the motion?
And this is just for her to basically gather all the facts, correct?
And I'd like to see a letter sent to, I think she had stated demand, I can't remember exactly what it said, it's demand compensation for, the road being repaired.
The other part of that is whether or not that estimate is actually fair. And it's only one bid.
I asked her, I said, you want more? She said, we just need one.
That was Amy. Because originally, I thought it said 5,000, and I asked her, where's the copy? Is that when you, at that point, you got
That's
the
correct.
estimate?
That's correct. When I spoke to her, she said, how much? And I said, it was verbal, approximately 5,000.
It came in at 4,500 unwritten.
It's a change, yes.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Under discussion, just to make this clear, this motion is just for Amy to basically see how to best to pursue this from a legal standpoint. Is that consensus?
I'd like for her to ask for compensation. I mean, I guess that's the first step, instead of just jumping on taking somebody to court, we can ask be
Ask her
compensated.
to pursue the facts and send a letter to me. So, whatever her name is.
The property owner. Are we ready for roll call?
He related to me once. Lady's name is Terry Paxson.
Pass.
P-A-C-K-S-O-N.
Do roll call, Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I'm learning. We've got,
I have one of the hearing.
Do business. Let's talk about the old business.
Kind of want to see if maybe some people in the community want to do like a park cleanup day. I know some of the equipment needs power washed, the new playground set, it's kind of in shaded areas, it's kind of getting some, maybe some mold growth, stuff like that on it. So it could definitely need power washed, the shelter house could use power washed. If we need to get maybe another dump truck load of mulch or something in there to fill in some of the low spots, I mean, it's up to you guys. If some people want to get together, I'm willing to kind of head up the project, but it's up to people, you know, here to want to do something. You know, people interested, not interested. If you get,
I know we can get at least 6 or 8 for sure here.
Yep.
yeah, we get enough people.
I mean, I'd like to see us maybe set up a day and try on Saturday or Sunday or something like that. We'll have to know ahead of time, so if we need to get mulch, we just run one of our trucks up to behind mulch, need a little bit of mulch. What wind's good for. I know it's hard to commit a day.
Yeah, I'd say look out a couple, few weeks. We have to get some of the group together, but Friends of Bowling Green Township, I'm sure could come up with half a dozen at least in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Some of us will not be in town. I know there's some traveling going on, so it may be spotty. I don't know how soon you want to do it.
Whatever, it's something that I think needs done.
It might be better, easier to get more volunteers closer to August, but
Sure, we can do it at the end of July. If give us the last 2 Saturdays in July, or the 19th or the 26th. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't.
I'd suggest the 26th, but
Well, let's put that until the day of the 26th. If something changes, then
Of July,
Yes.
what time?
Let's do it in the morning. I mean, I think.
4 a.m. or,
Yep.
just kidding.
Just as long as it doesn't go into 4 PM.
I think we start at 8:30. Maybe we can be out here by lunchtime.
Yeah.
8:30. Well, if you stick around to 4, you can have hot dogs. Groundhog.
Is that a motion now?
It's not July 26th, probably not that.
I'll second the motion.
Who's bringing
Can I-
coffee and donuts?
Can I ask that the Friends of Bowling Green Township put that on their website? Did you guys-
Yeah, be happy to.
Do roll call, Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
That's all I have.
Okay, I go to public comment. Actually, go ahead.
I just wanted to bring up an issue we discussed last month. As we know, Barbara Wiseman, previous president of the Bowling Green Township Park Committee, who was arrested for multiple felony thefts from organizations right here in Brownsville within Bowling Green Township, who was also in charge of the financial records of the Bowling Green Township Park Committee. The discussion and agreement was that we would have a special meeting. Matter of fact, Jeff Courtpenny requested a special meeting for this. We agreed on the 16th of June, I believe, at 6 p.m. Jeff Courtpenny offered to spearhead up that investigation. I'm wondering, Jeff, what was the result of that investigation? I think the township citizens, taxpayers, homeowners, voters should know what your findings were.
Were you here? Were you here for the meeting?
I was just wondering what your findings were.
I wasn't at the meeting, were you here?
So you said you
Can
would
answer my
spearhead.
question?
So I'm an individual citizen. I'm a
Understand that.
citizen.
I'm trying to
I'm not an
understand.
elected official.
I understand that.
Okay, what I asked you was, you are an elected official. You said you would spearhead up the investigation.
Those are your words, not mine.
I have it on tape, and I would be happy to share that with you.
Okay, well,
You said you would
Okay.
spearhead it up multiple times.
no, you said that. Those are your words.
You said you would do it. What were the findings? You said you weren't
Let
here.
me know when you're done so I can speak.
Okay, so clearly you weren't here. I have a concern that an elected official who knew of the situation, who agreed that it should be audited, agreed that these records should be reviewed, wouldn't as much as show up or call to let anybody know who was here that you would be showing up or not. Why didn't you show up to audit the records is what I'm asking you when you said you would.
Are you done?
I asked you a question, Jeff.
Are you done?
I asked you a question, Jeff.
Please don't interrupt me. You've done it many times. Please don't do it.
Don't threaten. Are you threatening me? Should we call the police? Are you threatening me?
You're interrupting me, sir. Do you want an answer or not?
I asked you a
Come on,
question.
let's move on.
Please don't interrupt me.
I
Answer
haven't
the
interrupted you.
question.
Just ask a question. I've asked you
We're
multiple
waiting.
times.
How about some silence so I can get...
He did, answer the question,
Why are you making noise?
because I'd like to know the answer. Answer the question.
If you be quiet...
Answer the
Allow
question.
me to
Here's
speak.
silence, here you go.
Perfect. The meeting, you videotaped it, I believe. I don't know when you started your recording. I have it personally videotaped. On my tape, it's an hour, 9 minutes, 30 seconds in. That meeting, clearly, by consensus of the board, was a tentative date, contingent upon Amy, our legal counsel, being there. Okay? That's what I've got to say on the matter.
Holy crap.
So for some reason you wanted legal counsel. That sounds very suspicious myself. And I think a lot of the elected officials, Jeff, would like to know, not elected officials, they probably know, but the elected officials as well as the citizens of this township would like to know why you refuse to show up to audit the records of your very dear friend Barbara Wiseman, who's been convicted of multiple felony thefts. And we are severely concerned that this woman had her fingers in the public funds, tax dollars. And I think you should be extremely concerned about that, at least enough to show up or call. Why didn't you do that?
I answered your question. I asked you one. Were you here?
So you didn't have public representation or legal representation, is that what you're saying?
That's right. Amy did not come. It was contingent upon her being here.
No, it was not.
As it was discussed.
That's not correct.
It
It
is
was not contingent upon her being here.
You said you would
received-
like her to be here.
Correct. You received an email. as
1
well as I
hour,
did.
9 minutes, 30 seconds. Go back and watch it.
So this is premeditated. So you already had this in your mind that you needed to state this time on this film. It was not
It's
contingent
on the
upon
initial
Amy.
audio right there,
It was
too.
not contingent upon Amy being here. You received the email just as I did.
We
Because
had
I
a
asked
consensus
her.
at this board. Your words, not mine.
Okay.
Go back
It
and
was a
listen to
tentative
it.
date.
So what were the results of this? That's what's more important.
You should know.
Jeff, you actually asked that it be a meeting, and you asked that it be advertised. You
No,
said,
sir. There was no discussion about advertising for that meeting, which
You're
is
wrong.
another point.
you're wrong.
The only motions that were made for meetings had to do with the morning, the other meeting that was for the road bids.
You're incorrect, completely incorrect.
So we're allowed to hold
No.
a public meeting without advertising?
There was no motion made to have this meeting. It was contingent upon legal counsel being there to assist us with this. And the consensus of the discussion was just that.
So you have a fear that we can't sit here like you do now without legal counsel to review somebody who may have stolen?
That's your...
It's a question.
That's your confabulation.
Confabulation?
Yes, sir.
Confabulation. What I'm asking you is, you have a clear fear, a concern that you need to protect or hide something? Is that what you're saying to the taxpayers and the
That's what
voters?
you're inferring.
I'm asking you if that's the case.
No,
Then why didn't you show up?
I answered that question.
Because you didn't have legal representation here. I think it's a fallacy. I
No,
think it's
the
a
board
farce.
didn't have legal representation.
I don't think they need
For
it.
this exact reason. We have people like you just going on and on, open-ended. And you are not an unbiased person, Mr. Friends of Bowling Green.
My name's Vermillion, Mike Vermillion.
He has nothing to do with Friends of Bowling Green.
Were you at the
Thank you
meeting or
very
not? What did you find? That's what I want to know. Jenny
He was
is the
in
one
charge
that
of
has
it.
had the financial documents on this the entire time.
No.
You
Diverting
had
it
him
to
in the
Jenny.
trunk of your car.
Now, do the deposits match the rental agreements?
I did not have the records the entire time. There
Were
was
you
a
at the
period
meeting?
of
Jeff
time
Portman, he
I
did.
did not have them.
Were you at the meeting?
Jeff Portman,
Yes.
he did.
I came to the
No, I
meeting.
did not.
Yes, you
You had him
did.
in the trunk of
The
your
chain
car.
the chain of possession went from Barbara Wiseman, the criminal felony theft individual, your close friend, to you. You admitted to taking them, and it was months before you submitted them here, and all of a sudden, all these records come up missing. Jeff Portman, we're asking, why didn't you show up to the meeting, and what happened to those records?
I answered the first question tonight. The other one, I clearly answered last month.
So you're refusing to answer this month.
It would be repetitive.
Are you
You're not
refusing to
listening.
answer?
You have selective hearing, sir.
So that means you won't answer.
I already answered
I'm
it.
perceiving that he's a thief because
I'm
Bart is
not.
his buddy
Listen, no, wait a
and
minute, wait a
he's
minute.
protecting
I
him.
don't agree with that. But I think that Jeff knows more than he's sharing with us, and the fact that he held these records is very suspicious. And I think the Bowling Green Township residents have a right to know what's going on, and the fact that you didn't show up is very suspicious, no doubt.
To you?
To
me,
a lot of.
How many people in here? Everyone.
Anyway,
You're not everyone. You're allowed.
Everyone.
You're
Anybody
allowed
in here
one.
have a problem that he didn't show up to the
Yeah, I
meeting?
do.
Can you say aye?
I,
Aye. How's that? Close enough?
This all being said, when he's done, I'd like to know, well, you did give me the tape, I see. So I can hear what, did you bring all the records? Did you see any discrepancies?
Should have came to the meeting
Yeah, I
and
agree.
found out.
Mr. President, is it open forum? Or are we gonna have
It's
some more?
public, I thought.
Public comment.
Open forum where we got Jack?
Jeff, you didn't show up, and you're trying to make
I'm waiting for you
excuses.
to answer.
You didn't show up, and you're trying to make excuses for not showing up. You're coming up with a veiled garbage excuse of not having. Do you have an attorney you're
That's-
representing you?
That's your opinion.
Do you?
Don't need an attorney.
You might.
Attorney
You
represents
might.
the board.
I think the trustee has a right to know what their elected officials are doing when they had possession of documents that very well may have shown criminal theft,
What
and you held on to them, and then you refused to show up to review them.
You said that you were an auditor, or an accountant, was it? You said you were an accountant and you volunteered your time, but yet you refused to answer whether you were even here. What did
That's
you
irrelevant.
find? It's relevant.
Wait. You are paid to show up here, and you didn't as much as Paul. You didn't show up. Why didn't you show up? The voters don't care whether I showed up, Jeff.
Well, I don't care if you did either, but I'd like to know the
I know
results
you
of the
don't
meeting.
care.
So
I know
you
you
should
don't
have
care.
came to the meeting.
When I go home, I'll have an opportunity. I asked for these, I got them tonight. I'll have an opportunity. If you're not gonna help me and tell me and Jenny's not gonna tell me whether there are discrepancies, I'll
So
find
then
out
we
what
just
happened.
ignore it because she's your dear friend, Barb Wiseman, Jeff Corpenny are like this. And you know it, and the township trust, the other elected officials know it, the residents know it, and every voter will know it come to 2015.
That's your noise.
No,
It's
that's
not my
that.
noise, and you do not insult me. I'm not insulting you, I'm asking
Oh, I
you
think you are
questions.
insulting me. You're beyond insults. And I'll say as I please.
You
It's
don't insult me, Jeff
It's your
Corpenny.
noise. It's your noise.
It's your lies.
Jill, you should have showed up. We elected Jill.
Well, I can
Won't
answer-
happen again.
I can answer one of those questions.
Got our
okay,
own team.
About some discrepancies that were there. And there's two major
So you're
things.
gonna give me some results of the meeting?
If you'd have showed up, you'd have
You
known.
have, okay. So you're gonna play games, you're gonna tell me what you found?
Play
I'm gonna
games
tell you-
with money?
I'm gonna tell you two things that weren't found that are a major discrepancy, okay?
What's that?
There's 2 years worth of calendars for the rental of the building that are not found. So they got lost in the mix somewhere from there to you to here, okay? So there's 2 years of calendars.
Okay.
That's
Well,
11 and
they
12.
were in the box.
Okay,
I had
every
possession.
original
Trump.
rental agreement that was given back to Barb Wiseman,
Apparently what we learned last month, she still has those.
okay, was,
Apparently.
Why does she still have those?
those need to be turned over to this board.
Well, okay, I move a motion that
December the 31st.
we send a letter to Barb Wiseman and request those documents that you said she still has. Simple as that. If she hasn't, get them.
Why didn't he
Why
just
didn't she
collect
give
them
us
and put
her?
over there? I'm confused.
We discussed that month too, and that's
Just
where we
say when
learned.
You're pretty high on the horse on public records and public.
That's why I'm
information.
making the motion.
Why wouldn't you ask her for those when all that stuff was given to you, and you got a stack of papers about this high, Jeff, and don't you think this light bulb would have went off and said, wow, this isn't everything, maybe I should ask for everything? Everything wasn't there.
I got what Jenny got, same box, same stuff. I can't produce something I didn't get.
Can't prove it.
Well, there's too many, you asked for first discrepancy, there's two major ones.
Now,
There's two
Jenny,
major
my
ones.
question is, do the finances
No.
match the rental forms?
No.
They don't. Why not? Don't you check it every month? How would you?
I think it's pretty clear why not, Jeff.
Yeah, the only ones you haven't passed since December. The money, the forms she
You're
gave you.
gonna try and put this on me? Is that
Right.
what you're trying to
There
do?
again, she can't produce
I
something that's not there,
asked you a
Jeff.
question.
Okay, this
She
is.
turns
this is
in the money, she
Okay.
turns in a form. Do they match
Let me know
with
when
your
you're done.
deposits?
Let me know when you're done.
That's what I've got to ask you.
Are
Do
you
they
done?
match? I'm done. I'd like to hear the answer.
This is what the discrepancy is. There's dates on it, there's names on the calendars that we don't have rental forms for. So, did they rent that? And she didn't turn in the rental form with the money?
Or did
That's
they?
what the discrepancy is.
So the deposits do match the forms. Is that correct?
What do you mean the deposits match?
You make the deposits, right?
When I have, yeah, the money that I received from her,
Right. Does it match the paper she gave you?
how would I know?
For the ones that she received, there were names on the calendar from 2013 for a specific date
Okay.
that weren't a rental form. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Yes.
And how would I know whether the person that rented the building got their deposit back? I don't know that.
We discussed that last month.
Why wasn't this
My
discussed
question
during the
is,
meeting? The special meeting that
What
he
she
asked for?
handed into you does equal your deposits, and what it
Yes,
said
but
was
how-
paid for the rental itself, not the deposit.
Yes, but how do I know?
He's defending
that person got their deposit back?
Yes, he is. I'm in
Yeah, you are.
agreement with
I'm
you.
trying to get facts.
No, you're not. You
Yeah,
just
you
showed up
have
at
stuff in
16.
the trunk of your car playing with it.
You're trying to blame her.
You're trying to protect your best friend,
And what are you doing right now?
not protecting you.
Requesting the truth.
Can I ask you something?
Mr. President, I'm going to ask at this point that you please call order the meeting.
I was going pretty good.
Do you?
Go ahead.
It's your
You
meeting.
went up, Jack, when you walked out of here, went over and got them papers. Why did you not bring them over and set them on the table? You put them in your car and left.
I sure did. And I'm not going to leave anything down here that you or anyone else with a key can walk in here and do something with.
No,
You know.
Trustees were
Hey,
still
hey, hey.
here.
they was all here waiting on you,
Still here.
and you left.
Yes, you did.
That's right.
And it's on tape.
What-
We said,
what-
this all sitting here waiting on you to bring in papers over here. You got in your car and left.
What date are you talking about?
After the
I'm
meeting,
talking about the meeting.
December
never-
the 31st, 2013.
There you got it, right down on the money. Where Alex-
I didn't get that box until early January.
Oh, yes, you did. We sat here and watched.
Everybody was watching.
No, I didn't get any records until early January, so whatever you're
Oh,
talking about.
my Lord.
That's not what you said.
You have some
That's not what
questions
you
to
said.
answer.
Absolutely
It-
not.
it is what I said.
You said you left here and went over and got them. Because you didn't want her to be responsible for something she no longer had any part
That's
of.
I
right.
didn't walk over there on the 31st and get any records.
And
Shortly
then
after.
he came over here and said that he gave the extra money from that auction to the church. Then we find out they stole from the church. And there was no proof that he had that money to give. Nothing.
I don't know what you're talking about there.
We know what we're talking about because you were out there
Did
getting
anybody-
records and driving off.
Now, Ben has indicated more than once now
So
that
it's
there were
okay.
people that came to you that said they gave a deposit they didn't get back.
That's correct.
And our accountant volunteer said that he thought there might be ways that could be found in there. Is it? I don't know how.
On the rental form, it's circled. Did you get your deposit back? Did you give the deposit back? Yes or no? That means absolutely nothing. Just because somebody circles yes or no means nothing. Okay? They can circle yes, they gave it back, and then put it in their pocket.
Okay, well,
think we
if
should
you
bring
have
residents in.
these people that claim this, you know, they need to come forward. How do we work with families?
So is the board asking for people to come forward? Is that what we're gonna ask for?
Who are they, man? You talk to them.
I don't know if they want their names put out there.
Okay.
But yes, I
just
did.
don't know how you can pursue something with it. You know, it's basically hearsay without.
Especially if it's your dear friend.
Wouldn't you,
Well,
question,
I
wouldn't
probably
you
don't
just
wanna go
contact the
YouTube.
people that are on the
Yeah.
contracts and ask them to come in for verification and if they got their deposit back or not?
Here's a simple, honest question, Dan. It took you 2 months when you took possession of the documents, until you, 2+ months until you gave them to Jenny, with the prosecutor advising you that you needed to turn those over. You didn't want to turn them over on your own free will.
No, that's not true.
I had asked you several times for them.
I never refused to give any documents.
The prosecutor advised
And
that you
the
turn those
bottom
over
line
to Jenny.
is,
Why?
Jenny had all the, it was December 3rd, we had 2 meetings that night, I believe, right? We had 2 meetings, we had a special meeting, and then we had a monthly meeting, because it was on the 31st, right, December, right? We had our special meeting, and Harold walked across the street, he handed me the stuff, I put it on the table, that was December.
And
No.
stuff.
That's not true.
Yeah, it was.
All the records?
That's
You
what I
did it
do.
to what,
I'm
the
talking
box?
about the December meeting. That's
Okay.
probably what she's talking about when she's heard me say that I got the stuff from Harold. He handed me the December stuff. And it was the meeting, it was that.
We watched it.
Yes.
That's irrelevant to my question. My question is,
The
you have
relevance of your
possession of-
question is the fact that the financial documents Jenny has always had. The last she got them is what I just referenced, December 31st.
Have you always had copies of the calendar?
No,
Have you always had possession of the originals?
no.
No.
I'm talking about the.
That stuff has
I'm talking
disappeared
about-
from there to you till it got to Jenny. It's disappeared in there somewhere. And I don't know why.
If it exists, it didn't disappear when I had my possession. Because I didn't, like I already stated, I didn't have any
But that didn't
financials.
answer
The
the
only
question.
calendar I saw in there was 2013.
And I'm not saying it disappeared when it was in possession. I just want
That's
to
why
know
you-
why it took you 2+ months to turn that box of documents, which was about this thick, over to the
I
township.
already told you last month and prior times, and Amy can confirm
That what?
this as well, that my concern was the meeting minutes, and I still don't, since we're talking about that, Jenny.
No, we're not gonna gloss
I
over
do
it.
want a copy of the meeting
We're
minutes.
not gonna gloss off.
That's fine, but I do
keep
want a
talking.
copy of the meeting minutes.
You're worried
That
about
was
the
my
minutes.
concern. I wanted to get copies for myself.
You're not concerned about the money, you're concerned about.
Good
There
question.
was no money in there.
But he
There was
dug
no
through the records to
checks.
find those
She didn't
minutes.
insinuate
And he
that
said
there's
he
money in
wasn't,
that box.
he didn't touch them, correct? He said he did not touch those records that were in that box. But now he's saying that he couldn't find the records that he was looking for.
I just don't understand why
He's
it took
contradicting
2+
himself
months to
right
get
here.
those.
There's a
This
lot
is
of
on
noise in
recording,
here. It's
right?
not even
No,
relevant.
I can hear you. So if I can hear you, you
I
can hear me.
can't, I got all this noise.
You can
back
hear me
here.
if I can hear you.
Take this.
Why did it take 2+ months to get those documents to this
I
township?
just told you, I wanted to get copies of the meeting minutes, I didn't get
Said
that
he never got
opportunity.
those documents.
That's it.
One,
Contradicting.
so you did go through the box.
He went to him, I guess he did.
Did you
There's
go?
no relevance.
So,
They-
yes, sir. Did you go through the box?
I already
Did
told
you
you I
go
left
through the
the
box?
box. I didn't get a chance to take it and copy the part I wanted, which was the meeting minutes.
So you had it for 2+ months because you
Early
wanted.
January until the time that I personally met with Jenny. I'm not leaving the box down here, okay?
I don't want-
personally met with Jenny, and as I was driving out, you pulled in and you were looking in that box too. You knew that they were here.
I saw what was
And
turned over.
it's
Jenny was a
financial
cardboard box about this. That's over exaggerating. For
That box was
since
bigger than that, it's about like.
no,
Yeah, the
that's how
box
deep
was,
the
the stuff
documents
in
were
it
in there,
wasn't.
and half of it was
Primarily, it was meeting
advertisements.
minutes, there's a binder, a blue binder in there, it's about that thick, and it's all the meeting minutes. from the start to the finish.
So for that
I
2+
saw the
months,
2013 calendar, there was some other stuff in there related to, you know, catalogs.
so for that 2+
stuff like
months, you kept it because you wanted to make copies of the meeting minutes.
That's right.
Did you go through the box and make copies of the meeting minutes?
I already told you I did, and I just requested to get a
Okay, so
copy.
you never made any copies out there. You never took anything out of that box.
But you looked at the meeting minutes.
I looked through the box, I didn't sit and read all the meeting minutes and
you-
stuff.
I-
That's just why I want a copy of
I
it.
just asked you a simple question.
What's the question, Dan?
Did you look at the minutes,
Yeah, I looked at it.
Okay, all right, you looked at it.
So you went through the box
Okay.
of the documents,
That's
whatever
what I
was in that
asked.
box.
Yeah, I
you
looked at the
went
meeting
through.
minutes, sure.
Okay, so you took the
But I
information.
didn't get to, I wanted a copy and then I could look at it in my leisure. I don't want that history changed, and I don't want it.
I don't either.
And the meeting minutes have all that documented pretty well.
Maybe I'll tell them about a couple months of grass.
So he had plenty of time to change everything that he wanted.
So I just don't understand, and I'm not harping on subject here, I just don't understand why it took 2+ months to take possession of those documents, you to look through it, and then the prosecutor advised you that you had to turn those over
Now,
to.
that's based on part of the information, and I'm sure that she could confirm that to you.
Based on part of it.
There was never any refusal to turn anything over, there was never a demand to turn anything over. That's all there is to it.
This board, myself, asked for those for 2 months, and they never came to the table.
I told you I'm not gonna leave them down here.
I don't blame you.
I had,
So he could have brought it to the next meeting, but didn't.
I don't know if you beat the dead horse about it.
No, I just don't understand.
You're not gonna get anywhere.
Yeah, I was gonna question, Jeff said you were breaking papers over the night he got them because someone could steal the stuff, and he didn't want that to happen. But two months later, he turned them over to Jenny. So why couldn't he turn them over to Jenny then? Why did he have to wait over, 2 months? Why didn't he turn the Jenny over then and let us wait 2 months?
This board wasn't privy to those documents, and we asked for them several times.
Oh, I know
They had to
that.
take it to the prosecutor's office. They ended up advising Mr. Corpenny that he had to turn those over to the fiscal officer
Oh, you did?
so she could have possession of those records.
Locked in there?
Now he's cornered.
Thanks.
Okay.
Is there any other public comment?
It's really strange, that we got somebody, across the street that took from the bed, took from the church, took from wherever they wanted. Now we got a trustee came and tell us the truth. I mean, you can't get any lower than that. I've got work to do with the staff leader or something. If that's so, I would go right to get him. Because man, so far, it's just a half hour, 40 minutes. I bet you he has twisted his story so damn much, it's not if I did, so. And if this discussed, that's what I see at. He's a poor, poor man. When you don't have the truth, you don't have nothing in your life. And you don't have nothing.
There's one question, I have a question.
No big deal.
How are we going to try to obtain those records that are not there?
Well, I already tried to move a motion. If you feel that she has calendars, for whatever reason, if you want to get what should have been copies of the grant forms, in my opinion, you should always have the
They weren't
original.
copies, they were the originals.
That was,
That's historical documentation,
Okay,
any of
fine.
that is.
but either way, if the board didn't have information they feel exists that she has,
Maybe
Then
she's
we
got
should-
2 boxes.
Might be.
nobody's contacted her and asked her. I haven't. Have you?
Could you do that for us?
I suggest the board, if you feel that she has two calendars and originals that Jenny gave her back, right?
They got lost in the line from there to here. And there was one pit stop in the middle, so they got lost somewhere.
Okay. Two calendars.
Okay.
And I assume that you have you been giving her the originals back from the beginning?
Yes,
So
I
she
have.
okay, from whatever time period that was until December 31st, 2013. So the verbiage of the letter would be, the township is requesting that you turn over the original copies that you've given her.
Should the prosecutor write her a letter?
Probably. Make it easy, I moved it to, similar to the letter to the lady on First Street. I moved it to, board asked Amy to, draft a legal letter. Definitely.
Yeah.
So you want to work the resolution, go ahead, whatever you want.
Go ahead, word it, but I want to make sure the verbiage in there doesn't state just those 2 things. I want it open-ended to anything that you have, that she has, that
Well, I'm sure Amy
pertains
can
to
advise us
this.
on that too, so I don't think.
What's that?
Amy can advise us on that. That's part of the motion, to get Amy to provide legal counsel of what we're trying to determine whether it
What's
exists.
this statute? What's the next? Is there a time frame? It's forever.
For what?
It would have,
That's another thing too, on our records and retention
yeah, it's
schedule.
not on the retention
I have just gotten a copy of that because I asked for a copy of Gary's stuff. What does it say about calendars on the records and
I don't think
retention?
it's on there.
Do you have records from this year? Do you have records from prior to Barb Wiseman? What do you have with calendars?
I would have to look. I don't know.
That's not, I was asking, what's the time frame? Is there 5 years, 10 years, forever?
There isn't one.
There isn't one if it's not on the retention schedule.
Yeah, it is on the Is it
But there's
broken?
probably a,
Those original forms are 100% should have been here.
yeah,
Well, those should, I would hope that the retention schedule has rental contracts as permanent, or is that something, is that not permanent?
I'm not sure that's on there either.
Well, it needs to be on there. I feel that both of them should be permanent.
Well, wouldn't that have been a document, even the calendars that would have been produced and maintained by the township? She was an extension of the township, so that was produced and maintained by the
It
township.
was in 2007 that Janet, you and Dan put that in place. And I don't know that you ever updated it. The date on that was 2007, right? Where you created that?
I think so. Is there a second to the motion?
Ben, may I?
I'll second.
Okay, how are you gonna, just to clarify, what is the motion, how's it gonna read?
We're going to request Amy draw up a letter requesting from Barb any documents that pertain to township records.
Okay,
Maybe I'll send one to Jeff too.
where are we, first and second?
Yeah, we're on roll call. Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Did you put that second one in there, send it to Jeff?
do you want me to?
Are you?
It was in the chain here,
I'm
so.
gonna ask for you to use proper parliamentary procedure, that would be, amending a motion, and there's a process that Dan should know how to do that.
I'll amend the motion that we send the same letter to Jeff too. Requesting that.
To amend the motion, you need a second on the amendment. Okay, I'm gonna ask fiscal officer, to please read the amended motion.
Dan made a motion to amend the original motion to also include sending Jeff Corpenny a letter about receiving, requesting any documents that he may have.
Okay, I'd like to hear the whole motion read as it's amended.
I read you the amendment.
I want the motion, including the amendment
You
read.
made the motion. You don't know what it was?
You wrote it down, please read it.
Jeff made a motion to request any original documents from Barb by letter from Amy. Any originals that belong to the township. And it was amended to also send Jeff a letter stating the same. I'm doing roll call. Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Okay.
I got a second.
Just question, guys.
Why are you doing, I mean, the records that this place, what, you guys even had a special meeting? Why?
We was,
There's a procedure that we have to go through if there's any records that weren't given to us that we need to follow to ask for anything else that might be out there.
Okay,
If it's not there and it's supposed to be, there's consequences. If it's not there and it didn't matter, then there's no consequences.
well, you know, there wasn't a consequence when he tore up and parked everything else.
anybody else?
Yeah, I lived here almost 45 years. I've come down to these meetings It lasts maybe 15 minutes, a half hour. Nobody ever had any trouble, no money missing, new equipment, everything. Jeff gets in here, he screws this place up so damn bad. If we ain't got no money, stolen money, everything, what is wrong with the people voting for somebody like that?
I don't know. Where's it going on that? I don't know.
Mr. Hedges just stated there's stolen money, you know. That's a statement, but I haven't seen anything.
Because Jeff,
That's the
you
first
didn't
thing-
bring him over here.
That's the
and
first thing
everything.
I wanted to find out. What did you learn at that meeting? Anything?
You want to
All the finding? Okay, I guess if you're not gonna be professional enough to share that with me, I'll just have to.
You should have been here, Jeff. There's no reason that you
There
should
was
be.
a reason.
What
I
was-
already told
Because
you.
Amy didn't show up. Do you know why Amy did not come?
It was
You
contingent,
received an email just as I did.
it was contingent upon her being here, and that's very clear.
I think I'm going
Now,
to-
how you write it in the meeting minutes, that's your business, but on the audio that.
Did you know that she wasn't gonna show up?
At least for a year.
Did you know that she wasn't gonna show up? Yeah, did you know that she wasn't gonna show up?
Her email stated that she was unable to make it at that.
Okay,
meeting.
so you knew she
She
wasn't gonna show
also
up.
went on to state that she felt that it was important as a record request to let people look at the records, which is fine.
Sure.
The fact of the matter is though, anybody that wants a record request to review the records, if it's not just a copy of something, they can do that at any time. You don't have to have a special meeting to do that. You can get with the fiscal officer and make those arrangements. come
Thanks for
down,
education.
Sit down and talk with her, and, you know, you gotta work with her schedule too. If it's
So you-
a lot of stuff.
So back
Nice
to your question,
diversion.
let's not be around here.
No, it's just a fact.
So
We
you
didn't have
knew
to
that she
hold-
wasn't gonna show
We
up?
didn't have to hold a meeting for a resident.
You the one that wanted us to have the meeting.
Yeah.
I have nothing more to say on it, Dan. If you don't understand what I've said, you know,
Well, I understand that you requested us to have a meeting for that.
If you knew she wasn't gonna show up and it was contingent on her being here, did I receive an email? Did you receive an email? Did you receive a phone call? Any of us receive any kind of correspondence from you saying, hey, are we still gonna have this meeting? Amy advised that she's not gonna be able to make it. Are we still having it? Are we not having it? No, nothing.
apparently you still have it.
And
Yeah,
apparently
it's
you
very
weren't there.
There's no apparently.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Let's
We don't
move
care.
on. I make a motion we pay bills.
Now, you got somebody back there.
I'll second your motion.
I got a question.
Okay.
Muskegon County building, new
Okay, I move to,
We have a couple questions.
hang on. I move that we I second the motion already, right? I move that we go ahead and let public comment continue. We are,
Okay, go ahead.
Muskegon County building, a $2.8 million salt barn. It's up on 60 north of Zanesville. You guys know about it? Somebody was saying that it's for Knox County, Licking, and Muskegon County. I was wondering if you guys were gonna go, so everybody can have more salt. And I was wondering if you guys was gonna go up there to get salt, or is that too far away? from
Like to
you?
purchase it? Is that what you're asking?
is that an ODOT facility or
Pardon?
is that an ODOT home?
Yeah, I think.
So like to purchase it or to like store salt there? I mean,
Well, I guess purchase it, if they're gonna make it available, it should be cheaper if they've got, you know,
right.
I don't know. I
When
just heard.
when we buy salt, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's by the state bid price.
Yeah.
So it's by what the state's gonna pay for it. In our cinder bid back here, we have it kind of split, a third, two-thirds, and we house our own salt back here. So I don't know if that answers your question.
But I was just thinking maybe that'd be another place that you could go
Right,
get it too.
definitely, if we need
It's
it.
for 3 counties.
Right, we have a truck here, we don't go get it, we actually have it brought here.
Huh? Well, everybody was running low last year, so they just
Yeah.
figured they built some more. I don't know if they built more around the state or what.
But I mean, it's definitely something good to know in the future,
Yeah.
you know, that we might be able to.
I didn't know if you guys knew about it or not.
Well, I appreciate it. I think it was one other.
Yeah, I just kind of have an observation, I guess, but I remember Jeff's first term, I said, past two was policing him because he seemed to like there and he's who sits on the other side of the table away from him. And, you know, so through both of these terms, all we've got is resolutions that he brings to the table, letter grants, this, that, and the other. They make sure that he gets his friend appointed with nothing being ever seen or anything by him. He doesn't trust anybody sitting around him. but trustee right across the street. It seems odd to me that you spend all that time making sure that everybody else that sits around you is doing their job. You don't worry about doing your job. You just bring in paperwork and everything. And then you appoint her to a park committee and find out later she doesn't take the money from other people. It's kind of interesting. Kind of goes back to last term, do some leasing you. Maybe you need to worry about more what you're doing. Maybe do a little more.
I just had a request to make sure that these people making public comment, we get their names in the record.
My name is Shannon Duvall, spelled D-U-V-A-L.
A lot of times we have people really going off in here, and I don't know what's part of the record, who has the floor or anything, so if you could clarify that when we put it in the minutes, it'd be great.
I would suggest you also indicate that an elected official called the private citizens' names while they were here, as opposed to directing them or speaking to them as sir or Mr. or Mike. He knows me. I suggest the same
You're the
thing.
same gentleman that years ago you came in here, I called you sir. You said, you know my name, don't call me sir.
That's right.
So when you start your public comment, if you don't mind in the future, please reference how you'd like addressed that evening.
I would like you to call me sir, not Mr. Friends of Bowling Green Township, like you did today.
We can call him
You did that as an insult.
Bowling Green Township volunteers sitting there.
I move that we pay those.
He's unbiased.
Yeah.
Gary Step is his right hand man.
Check number 4446. Made out of Pleasant Valley limestone, $266.55. Times trucks in there. This one's right out of limestone.
Right up there and just look at it.
4443, $260.40. This is the Ohio Public Enemy Consortium for General Value and OPEC funding.
How's it going?
This is all showing an invoice for $266.55.
How's it going?
And Pleasant Valley limestone.
I'm ready to go home.
Not what Jack said.
Okay.
Yeah.
4440, Mark's lead, $79.12.
Hey, Bob.
4441, $38.61, Napa Auto Parts. Sorry, I said what it's.
House phone?
Napa Gold Fuel Filter, $69.80.
I just have a number card. I like to have a couple spares.
If it's a salary.
If you think about it, you're out there and set them off side, I'll start out saying
That's
this.
No, I don't want that.
$38.60.
If I call you,
Recycling company, $127.10. 10 by 20 umbrella.
I'll stop by saying it.
Plum tree.
Don't recycle it. Don't waste, don't break 551 says it's a 10 foot by 20 foot double wall pipe. I never told you about this expenditure. Trying to keep your own Eastern Equipment Company. $163.23.
Yeah, where's that?
My invoice shows it's for
One guy's supposed
blade bolts. And it's 4447.
Or the welder right on the road.
Okay.
You need to get DNA tests. They're all being cheated.
Next check is 4448.
That doesn't mean anything. It's not what I look like. I'm not saying I didn't even need my
We have eight on the field.
The wall thing.
I was only that deep in it, so. Have a ball.
Thank you. 4449, Jeff Forfang, 62321. Is this your signature here, Dan? Just, is that your legal signature? Last month, I hope it is on the record. I asked Dan for requesting the ORC about trustee compensation. I guess Dan's left it.
Yeah, it's not a diamond shape.
I don't know if they want to run that out.
4451, Jack.
I don't know if they want to run that out there.
Oh, yeah, there's one question. He has no Texas.
I'd like copies of these are originals, right? I'd like copies of them. The check 4451, matches the time sheet signed off by. I guess that's the most different than my check.
It's just my goddamn time, that's time.
Excuse me? For what?
I don't cheat on one. Don't you ever accuse me of that.
Okay, Mr. Hedges, here's your check and here's the time sheet. I want copies of it.
Stay here for a second there.
If you don't mind, stop interrupting me with your whatever it is.
the video.
4454, Don Watkins, 14164.
Somebody works for a living,
Signed by Dan
Yeah.
Buren,
they don't do shit.
14 hours. What's that?
I signed it, 'cause he works for it.
141, $141.64. That's Don Watkins.
Oh, I thought I asked you, Dan. I got that truck all over the
Okay, then we have Barb Salee, and this time sheets.
It's there in the bottom.
This one.
Jack, during the show in this township, then thank you.
Just like the other time, a copy of the zoning report. Okay.
The zoning report, or the zoning time sheet.
It's a report, it has what you did, the time sheet.
It's time sheet. You got the report. earlier.
4455, the amount is 153.94.
Damn, I was gonna ask about that, and you didn't have
Total down
I didn't hear nothing about it.
17.5 hours, signed by Dan Buren.
I'm working.
Busy man. You're a busy man, besides your Steelers fan, I respect. Don't tell me anything. I like your Steelers fan.
You just finished, we'll discuss copies after the meeting.
Just the general terms, because I'm going to be asking everyone.
Yes, David.
It's maybe some more convenient.
I'm going to find a copy, so just finish what you're
You
doing.
don't have one?
It doesn't, no, I mean for down here, because the one that was provided to us is not over there.
Still in this one. then, I guess you got, was there a question on this one or what? Okay. Signed by Ann Buren, notice of 17, 4451, and it's Jack Richard. Okay. Is there a reason to hold that one?
I wouldn't hold nothing.
Gardner, request 4456. Gardner Insurance, 4456 is $3,977.
You better watch out, I think
Yeah, just this call for $4,977.
give you a run for your money.
Jen, I'd like to see the particular invoice. I'd like to know the details of the copy.
You go run for fiscal officer, I'm sorry? Yep.
That's done, you've already signed them.
All the checks are. We got left.
I still see it.
Can you tell me what this quantity of 30 double wall pipes are?
I don't think it's 30 double wall pipes, I think it's 30 feet.
Okay, well, that makes a little more sense. That's what it says on here, it says quantity 30. It doesn't say 30 feet.
Oh, no, this is Jeff's step.
That one's.
That's the one that's in your meeting right now.
And it's 4448, we have an invoice here, 27748, Unfortunate Oil Company.
That's part of the. What's the other one?
Barb Celine. We already did her, didn't we?
That's for phone and mileage. That's on the time sheet also.
The one for MNCO on the advertising. Dates are here, the dates are
I got it in the
Like the old,
Yeah. And I said,
Okay, now this is the second check for Barb Celine, 4440, $79.12, mileage reimbursement. 3 cents. Is that?
that new one,
Yeah, that is signed off by Dan Buren. 8 miles. And the cell phone says $25
that's the one. We have,
Are you getting your food or 3 months worth here or something? It's on here, it says $25, and on here it says,
I think I must have, let me see it. I might not be able to.
yeah, with the button, yeah, with the button.
Yeah, I didn't change it.
All right.
So this is $50 tire. What do you want to do about that?
I'm still on grab it.
Get it back to me. Give me stuff back.
You want to blade it or what?
Just tell them it's gonna be for the next
Okay, you just won't pay her the next year.
Well, if you're going to do that, maybe you should write it on this township.
Okay, go ahead, note it on
Oh, hell, I run
there.
it.
Okay, I'll take care of
Now,
it.
wait a second.
Give me
I
the
don't have
check.
a problem doing that, because recently you say,
You said you don't got those
We have to
over
pay
back
her
there,
monthly.
you're going to run over.
that's what you did, you paid.
Just for the phone. because I didn't change it to 25, because of the way that yours was in there, it's for, I was paying quarterly, so that was correct. I just
rules,
didn't change it.
new rules, strictly for schools, it wouldn't be for any other
Use of energy.
And it's only because Oakridge requires a report monthly. It doesn't
Oh,
have
first
any,
doesn't get it, no, according to that.
Yeah, because they had.
it's payroll only.
Oh, shit, yeah.
One year,
He tell you about these?
Are we
So that's
already-
not-
Are you gonna sign this if she's on there?
Yeah. Montana. Truck driver said, he called me on CB, he says, you see you just covered just where hit my truck and it's laying out the median there. By the time I got pulled over, hell, it was way back there, you know. I went back like something, I shouldn't have went back.
He turned that truck around.
No, well, on Sun River, I went,
He overpaid for
went
phone
down.
for 2 months,
But it's weekly,
he's not paid for phone for July, and all.
then I went,
So I think this is-
I'll sign it. I'll sign it.
shit, what, I learned something.
Basic insurance system, because this is not
Insurance,
for
they didn't believe me.
payroll.
I told Joe,
I motion, I move that we accept
he said, I got
the
problem, already gonna say, but you know that place up there.
error, overpaying Mark Wiseman, I'm sorry, Mark Lee, wrong person.
I mean, I do it there once before,
$50 overpayment.
but this time here, you got was up there on the line, right? Yeah, something different. He said, you got, I said, yeah, I got something in my truck. No, the equal one now. But this I cleaned it. I wiped it down before I put it on my truck. Oh, there was better. I just wiped it off. I put it on the
I didn't do the
On
mail
the
on
top.
time.
The top, I had to clean the camper. And spray all that shit. Well, I did that, and the guy was looking, he said, something
You
still
still,
there.
you still have on the
I
books,
said, well, I didn't get
still have on the books,
I said,
license
something
plate
green.
for the cell phone numbers. Did you do that?
It hasn't changed. Yeah, I looked at it.
I should know.
That's it, I moved
But I
it.
was
Right then, there's-
Yeah, he was coming down, and he must go to something, I don't know, or I got there too fast.
Is that,
I was
someone that's in the board?
This is more stuff that I need to get her.
He said,